They said the biggest battles inside the royal family happened behind closed doors. But what if one meeting changed everything? What if the silence inside the palace wasn't protecting the monarchy, but hiding a crisis that nobody dared confront? And what if the person who finally stepped in wasn't a court official, wasn't a senior advisor, but Prince William himself? That's the explosive narrative now spreading across royal watcher circles, and while none of these allegations have been confirmed by Buckingham Palace, the story has become impossible to ignore because every new claim seems to connect to another unanswered question. The entire controversy reportedly begins with what was described as an ordinary planning meeting at Clarence House on May 3, 2025. On paper, it was supposed to be another routine discussion involving King Charles, Queen Camilla, and senior palace advisors. Documents on the table. Formal conversations. Familiar faces. Nothing unusual, until, according to the reports circulating online, the atmosphere allegedly changed in an instant. Sources behind these claims allege that Camilla suddenly stood up and launched into a blistering verbal attack on the king in front of advisors. The reported descriptions are dramatic, portraying harsh criticism directed at Charles while stunned staff allegedly watched in complete silence. These claims remain unverified, yet they've become the centerpiece of a narrative that asks an unsettling question: if even a fraction of this happened, why has no official response ever surfaced? Then comes the detail that fuels even more speculation. Reports claim nobody interrupted. Nobody challenged the alleged confrontation. Instead, the room supposedly froze. Some people allegedly looked down at their notes, others avoided eye contact entirely. Was that simply shock? Or had they witnessed scenes like this before? That's the mystery driving countless online discussions. According to the same reports, one advisor allegedly decided this wasn't something that could disappear into palace paperwork. Instead of following the normal reporting chain, a file was supposedly sent directly to Prince William's private office. And this wasn't described as a simple summary. The reports claim it allegedly contained recordings, witness names, and a detailed timeline. Those are extraordinary allegations, and there is no public evidence confirming such a package ever existed. Yet this supposed evidence file has become one of the biggest talking points surrounding the entire story. What supposedly happened next is where the rumors become even more dramatic. According to unnamed sources cited in the transcript, William allegedly spent hours reviewing every page before quietly beginning his own internal response. There were reportedly private meetings, confidential conversations, and an effort to understand exactly what had happened. None of this has been independently verified, but supporters of the story argue that William has often been portrayed as someone who acts methodically rather than emotionally, making the narrative feel believable to many followers. Then another layer appears. Over the following 48 hours, additional accounts supposedly emerged from different palace staff members. Some allegedly described difficult interactions from previous years. Others claimed there had long been tensions over royal events and decision-making. Importantly, these are claims presented in the transcript itself and have not been substantiated publicly. Still, taken together, they created the impression of a much larger pattern, at least in the eyes of those promoting this narrative. Then comes perhaps the most emotional chapter of all. According to the story, King Charles allegedly requested a private breakfast with Prince William away from public view. No cameras. No official diary entry. Just father and son. During that alleged conversation, Charles supposedly opened up about personal struggles inside the marriage, reportedly admitting he had changed himself over the years in an effort to keep the peace. These deeply personal quotations remain entirely unverified, yet they have become some of the most widely shared parts of the transcript because they paint a picture of vulnerability rarely associated with a monarch. If that conversation really happened, supporters of the theory believe it became the turning point. Not because of politics. Not because of succession. But because William supposedly heard something no son ever wants to hear from his father. Others, however, argue there's simply no independent evidence proving such an intimate exchange occurred, reminding viewers that anonymous sourcing alone cannot establish historical fact. The alleged story doesn't stop there. It claims William immediately took action, presenting material before what is described as an emergency Crown Council meeting. According to the transcript, officials supposedly debated Camilla's future role and reached an unprecedented decision regarding her ceremonial influence. These claims are extraordinary and are not supported by official palace announcements or verified public records. And that's where the questions multiply instead of disappearing. If such a monumental constitutional decision had truly happened, why wasn't it formally announced? Why has Buckingham Palace never acknowledged these claims? Why do official public appearances continue to shape a very different picture? Is the online narrative exaggerating isolated rumors? Or are people simply connecting unrelated events into one dramatic storyline? Those contradictions are exactly why this story refuses to fade away. Every silence becomes another clue for believers. Every ordinary royal appearance becomes another piece of supposed evidence. Every unexplained schedule change sparks another round of speculation. Whether these allegations ultimately prove meaningful or simply reflect the internet's appetite for sensational royal stories, one thing is undeniable: the mystery has captured enormous attention. And as long as official answers remain limited, the rumors are likely to keep growing. As this extraordinary story comes to an end, one question still refuses to disappear: where does rumor end and reality begin? The allegations explored throughout this narrative paint a dramatic picture of private tensions, alleged power struggles, and deeply personal conversations inside one of the world's most closely watched families. Yet many of these claims remain unverified, with no official confirmation from Buckingham Palace. That uncertainty is precisely what continues to fuel endless debate. Every public appearance, every unexpected silence, and every subtle change is examined as though it might reveal another missing piece of a puzzle that millions are trying to solve. Whether these reports eventually prove to contain elements of truth or simply reflect the internet's fascination with royal intrigue, they have already shaped the conversation surrounding the monarchy. For now, the facts that are publicly confirmed remain limited, while the speculation continues to grow louder. Perhaps the biggest revelation isn't about any single allegation at all, but about how quickly unanswered questions can become global headlines. Until credible evidence or official statements provide greater clarity, this story remains exactly that. A story still unfolding, surrounded by mystery, speculation, and unanswered questions that continue to keep royal watchers around the world looking for the next piece of the puzzle.